Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Monday, December 29th, 2025. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin.
Here.
Mr. Coghill.
Here. What's up, Councilman?
Gross.
What's going on?
Mr. Mosley.
Here.
Mrs. Cale Smith.
Here, for the last time.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Here.
Mrs. Warwick.
Here.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Lavelle, President.
Here.
7 members present.
Thank you. For those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very much. Our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend?
So moved.
Second.
The agenda has been amended. Our next order of business will be public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which may be before City Council. Profanity will not be permitted. After you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You will be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Elena Zaitsoff.
He's online, right?
Is Elena Zaitsoff with us? If not, our next registered speakers are Ronald Lynn Miller.
And Mexico. It's a neighborhood in Addis Ababa in the sub-city of Kirkos, 250,000 people, which is potential ally for this city. It's within our PCAN and PCNN networks. Global Intelligence Society candidate 2028 for president, Global Information Intelligence Network.net. A concern of council is local government. I also have a concern primary in Initiative 3, local government as primary. My public comment today is on the CCBM, the City Council Budget Meeting, 21 December 2025, last Sunday. I said in public comments, City Council meeting 10 November 2025, quote, outgoing Democratic Party Mayor claimant Gainey offered a budget that incoming DP claimant O'Connor can shrug off. Ms. Gross said in the CCBM 21 December 2025, quote, we are blindfolded here. Between 6 January 2026, within 5 weeks into February, for budget amendments. It means that the CCBM is for nothing. And where was O'Connor? Why wasn't he here? He could unblindfold some people. I was here for the whole thing. And all the councilor claimants CCBM in the CCBM expressed, in my opinion, their anger and anxiety in self-flagellatory Da Vinci Code like Silas. The least whiny, weary, wunder politikieren. This is weird, gross, weepy. We gotta do this prop tax Warwick. Warpath, I'm gonna check everything Coghill. Wicked smart, and I mean that. The numbers don't add up, Wilson. Chagrined, this is not an honest budget, Charland. Morose, my people are suffering, Mosley. Safely at home, but I don't know what the numbers are, Strasburger. And on the way out the door, upping the property tax makes a new class of poor, Cale Smith, and laconic, non-lawyer, but I assure you that we can legally up the property tax, Lavelle. What is the plan that you allude to for this incoming mayor? No plan in May, no plan in September. Walked away from Gainey in a debate, walked away from me in the street, many witnesses to that. I think you'll walk away. Act 47 is coming.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Million Perry Pfeiffer. No, not online. Our last registered speaker is Lisa Freeman.
Good morning. Council members and Debbie resident of Pittsburgh watching. My name is Lisa Freeman and I live in Manchester. This city has approved a 20% property tax increase, and the responsibility for how this was handled and for the lack of protections tied to it sits with Council President R. Daniel LaBelle. As Council President, Councilman LaBelle sets legislative priorities, yet this tax increase moved forward without enforceable anti-displacement protections for Manchester, his own district that he has failed to represent, and many others in the city of Pittsburgh. Here is what a 20% tax hike means in Manchester. It means seniors on fixed incomes falling behind. It means renters facing rent increases or eviction. It means longtime homeowners forced to sell. It means small local businesses pushed out. Now let me be very clear. Investment is not the problem. The problem is raising taxes without protections while developers are shielded and residents are exposed. At the same time this tax hike was approved, the city is advancing a $740 million Esplanade development inside a TRID. Under the TRID, future tax money from the north side is being used to help pay for a private development project, while Manchester residents are paying higher taxes right now with no guarantees they can stay in their homes. That is not a shared sacrifice. This is displacement by design, displacement by policy, displacement made by the city council. So here is the call to action. Council must amend the TRID now, not later, not after another vote, not after residents are already gone. Amend it to include property tax caps and relief for long-time and fixed-income homeowners. Real renter protections so tax increases do not become eviction notices. Mandatory enforceable community benefits tied to the Esplanade and all major developments. Council President LaBelle, this is your responsibility. Use your position to protect your district or be accountable for the displacement that follows. To every Pittsburgh resident watching, if this happens in Manchester, it can happen in your neighborhood next. Development that raises taxes, shields developers, and pushes residents out is not progress, it is policy failure. Amend the TRID now.
Thank you. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. If there's anyone in chambers wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. Also provide your name and neighborhood for the record.
Good morning, Special Agent Sunshine. The missing child, Cerise Taylor, now found and very much alive, still. Heavenly Father, help us to take time to pray and rest in the assurance that you are listening. Amen. The title of my message for today is Standing Strong on Faith. Jeremiah 17:7-8 says, "Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord. They shall be like a tree planted by water, sending out its roots by the stream." The wisdom for today comes from Proverbs 10:24. I have two versions. The first is, "What the wicked dread will overtake them. What the righteous desire will be granted." The other version I have is, "The righteous get what they want, but the wicked will get what they fear most." We don't live in the spirit of fear, the righteous. We stand on his power and his promises. He, the Most High God, has all power in his hands. I promise you, you do not. Mark 13:31 says, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. When I read the scripture the first time, that's what empowered me and compelled me to want to know more about what he said. His words, what came out of God's mouth. Ever since 8 years old, I've been researching and digging for a lot of what came out of his mouth. It's amazing what I found. I'm so grateful to still be standing here, still finding and learning what he said, and spending a lot of my time telling everybody what he said. Because a lot of people get it twisted. So many people come out here and say, you know, in the Bible it says, blah, blah, blah. You can't come to me with that unless you can show me where he said it, why he said it, when he said it, and to whom he said it. Because if you can't, I promise you, I will check you. And that's anybody that comes towards me with that. This is my job. It starts when he opens my eyes to tell the world what he said. And this is how he blesses me with my health and my strength and the courage to come in here and tell you what he said. Thank you, Jesus, for loving me and using me as a vessel to do your will, not mine. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no further speakers, we'll turn to the presentation of papers, beginning with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources. Thank you. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Kell Smith, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Warwick, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. And Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. And I have 2 communications.
Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle presents Bill 2698, communication from Sally Stadelman, Executive Director of the Pittsburgh Land Bank, submitting the report and recommendations on sustainable funding for the Pittsburgh Land Bank Task Force dated December 22nd, 2025. And Bill 2699, communication from Jake Pollock, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting to City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended December 26th, 2025.
Need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those 2 bills have been read, received, and filed. Our
Mr.
next order.
President. I believe the communication, in the title, I think it's incorrect where it says from Sally Stadelman. I think it's just from the task force in general. But
Okay.
just as a clarification, yeah.
Okay.
I'll check with my office to make sure. Yeah.
We can
maybe,
have the-
maybe it was a mistake we made, but this is the report from the task force.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll make sure it's updated within Legislar. That moves us on to reports of committee for final action, beginning with Councilperson Erica Strasburger, presenting the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents Bill 2688, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for December 22nd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2621, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title II Fiscal, Article 1, Administration, Chapter 202, Debt Management Policy by updating the language in the chapter following the periodic review outlined in Section 202.14. Bill 2653, resolution authorizing the reappropriation of $7 million of 2025 funds into 2026 to pay for 2025 Pittsburgh water service costs when true-up calculations are finalized. Bill 2667, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title II Fiscal, Article 5 Special Funds, Section 237.03, establishment of the Stop the Violence Fund, to institute a change in the fund schedule for budget year 2026 and resuming the fund schedule in 2027. Bill 2678, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable in favor of the Airmark Sports and Entertainment for costs associated with the leaders convening recognition of Operational Performance Excellence Luncheon in an amount not to exceed $5,764.38.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bills, Councilwoman Smith?
Just the Stop the Violence one. Are we on that? Did we say that?
Yes, we're both listed as
Yeah.
co-sponsors.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if we still were moving forward since we raised taxes too. That's why I just wanted to make clear. I just wanted to be clear. Okay, I'm sorry. I was sending you a text, but you're faster than I am. I still text like this.
No worries. Any further discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlton?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
No on 2667, yes on all the bills.
Ms. Kell Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
On bills 2621, 2653, and 2678, 9 ayes. And then on bill 2667, 8 ayes, 1 no.
Thank you. The bills having received the legal required number of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilman Anthony Coghill, presenting the Committee of Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I'll tell you.
Councilman Anthony Coghill presents Committee on Public Safety Councilman Anthony Coghill presents Bill 2690, report of the Committee on Public Safety and Wellness for December 22nd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2646, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of public safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with 5 organizations to act as Stop the Violence community anchor institutions at a total cost not to exceed $2,628,710.40 over 3 years.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlton?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill having received the legally required number of votes is passed finally, and that moves us to Councilwoman Barbara Ward, presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Barbara Warwick presents Bill 2697, report of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for December 22nd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2654, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement or agreements with Eastern Research Group, Inc. to provide recycling education outreach services in an amount not to exceed $100,000 over a period of 1 year. And Bill 2655, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement or agreements with Pittsburgh Public Schools in order for the city of Pittsburgh to have permanent access to a portion of parcel 50F296 behind former Fort Pitt Elementary School for Fort Pitt Park Road and parking access in relation to a redevelopment project known as the Fort Pitt Park Master Plan at no cost to the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Councilwoman
Briefly.
Smith?
Do you know, was there an RFP for Bill 2654? Do we know that? I mean, I just want to vote on issuing a contract without an RFP.
26,
I don't see it here, and I don't know.
50, you said 53? Which bill?
54.
I believe there was, but I would need to double check that.
Okay. Well, it's my last vote, so I'll abstain today. Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith?
Aye on Bill 2655 and abstain on Bill 2654. Although I like the idea, I just want to make sure.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. LaBelle, President?
Aye.
On Bill 2654, 8 ayes, 1 abstention, and then on 2655, 9 ayes.
Thank you. The bill, having received a legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilperson Robert Charlin, presenting the Committee of Human Resources.
Councilperson Robert Charlin presents Bill 2691, Report of the Committee on Human Resources for December 22nd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2645, Resolution amending Resolution 893 of 2024, which authorized the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement and/or contract with UPMC Benefit Management Services, Inc., doing business as Work Partners EAP Life Solutions. This will extend the term by 1 year, increasing the not-to-exceed amount by $49,500 for a new total cost not to exceed $148,500. Bill 2676, Resolution authorizing the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement with Experian for third-party administration of the City of Pittsburgh's liabilities under the Pennsylvania Unemployment Compensation Act for 4 years of services at a cost not to exceed $37,000.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. LaBelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received a legally required number of votes, is passed finally. And now Councilwoman Deborah Gross, presenting the Committee of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Mosley.
Councilwoman Deborah L. Gross presents Bill 2694, Report of the Committee on Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology for December 22nd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2677, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and the Director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements or amendments thereto with Simago LLC for Geographic Information Systems Enterprise and ArcGIS Online support to provide GIS Enterprise Administrator support for ArcGIS at a cost not to exceed $49,900 over 1 year.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mrs. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. And finally, Councilman Kari Mosley, presenting the Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Kahari Mosley presents Bill 2695, Report of the Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for December 22nd, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2647, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and the Director of the Office of Management and Budget on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a cooperation agreement with Allegheny County Economic Development on behalf of Allegheny County, the Urban Redevelopment Authority, and the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh to collaboratively manage affordable housing services related to the Home ARP program at no cost to the city. Bill 2648, Resolution authorizing the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned property in the 12th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 124P, Lot 60A, 0 Rapidan Way, Council District Number 9, at no cost to the city. Bill 2649, Resolution authorizing the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned property in the 13th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 174K, Lot 362, 718 Sterrett Street, Council District Number 9, at no cost to the city. Bill 2650, Resolution authorizing the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned property in the 5th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 27B, Lot 285, 758 Cherokee Street, Council District Number 6, at no cost to the city. Bill 2651, Resolution authorizing the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 24th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 48N, Lot 14, and Block 47S, Lot 305, 1806 Lay Street and 1620 Hatteras Street, Council District Number 1, at no cost to the city. Bill 2652, Resolution authorizing the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 12th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 125H, Lots 79, 81, 83, 85, 87, and 89, 0 Garrett Street, and Block 125H, Lots 130, 131, 134, 136, and 138, 0 North Mertland Street, Council District Number 9, at no cost to the city. Bill 2682, Resolution authorizing 1, the condemnation of certain real property located at 7130 Frankstown Avenue, together with the 100-unit apartment building located thereon, collectively Homewood House, and 2, the negotiation and execution of any documents or agreements necessary with the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh for the coordination, funding, operation, and management of Homewood House in order to preserve affordable housing and ensure that low-income and extremely low-income residents are not displaced.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Ms. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to motions and resolutions. Is there anything from members? Councilwoman Gail Smith?
Yeah, I have so much to say, but I'm going to keep it brief because I know everybody's eager and put in a really busy month and with the holidays and everything. So I just want to say it's my last meeting, so I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you, Council President Lavelle. We worked together from, well, I was here a year and a half, maybe two, with Tanya Payne, and then the late Tanya Payne. And then you were elected, and from that day, it seemed like you, Reverend, and I did a lot together. And I want to make sure I mention, I had the opportunity to work with some of the brightest people in the city of Pittsburgh, and especially in politics, with you, Reverend Burgess, Patrick Dowd. I used to tease Patrick Dowd all the time. I'd say, you're the smartest man in the room, but you can't count to 5. So, because he was always so good at, pontificating and saying things that he felt. But, I had such a great opportunity with, such leaders, as Council President Kraus and you and Reverend Burgess and other people that I was fortunate to work with, and still stay in touch with a lot of my colleagues, including former Council President Harris and Jim Mosnick, who's now Magistrate Mosnick. So I stay in touch with almost everybody that I've served with, and I'm thankful for what they've taught me over the years, because boy, did they teach me a lot. And so it was good to have the opportunity to serve with all of them, and I'm grateful. And I'm very grateful for this current body, because even though we have such very different ideas and very different neighborhoods that we represent, I have some real friendships. And Councilman Coghill, you're not going to get rid of me, Councilman Charter. I'm still coming to the family reunions. And so I think that there's, and Councilman Wilson, you represent my kids, and they think the world of you. So, they think you do such a great job. So thank you for the work that you do. But for all of you, there's something I could say about each and every one of you. Councilwoman Gross and Councilwoman Strasburger. I loved having the Women's Caucus, us working together, and doing some of the great things that we do. And I just want to say to the public, I give a hard time here on council, but I want people to realize that being a council member is not all glitz and glamour at all. Matter of fact, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of late hours, a lot of early morning hours. It's, phone calls on Christmas. It's, running out the door when somebody needs something. It's helping people with your own money and your own time. And it's not, and people do it. I don't know any of us who don't do those kinds of things. It's because we care. And you have to remember, a lot of us started out the same place most of the residents are. We're volunteering and caring about the community and just got here. So it doesn't make us different. It just makes us an extension of you. And not everybody is going to always be pleased, because we can't do all the things that we'd love to do. We wish we had an endless budget. You're getting close to it now. We wish we had that endless budget and endless opportunity to do some of the things. It is a strong mayoral form of government, but city council also has a very strong voice when 5 members stand together. But I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to work with each of you. I cherish it every moment. I thank God every day that I had this opportunity, especially for so long, for something that I never even liked. I hate politics. So the fact that I hate politics, I hate public speaking, and I'm really not great at math. So to be here in that capacity, I thought God either has a sense of humor or a purpose here. I'm just still not really sure after 17 years. But so I want to also thank my family, who have been there through everything, and either with me or me missing things with them. They've just been very supportive, and I want to thank them for everything they've done. I learned from really amazing parents to give back to everybody, and to do the best you can for people, and to treat people the way you want to be treated. And so I think that they've done a great job of teaching us that. I hope I pass that on to my kids. But I also want to thank all of my staff, Kim Salinetro, who will be joining you here in the new year. She was great with constituent services, which is why I was elected so easily all the time, in addition to the things I did. But she was great with that. Lori Marabella, who was good with the budgeting and the proclamations, which, I've presented endless proclamations, but I felt like people deserved the right to be recognized for the things they do in the community. And I've had so many different other staff members, Wanda Spencer and Gino Palmasina, Gino would one day be an amazing elected official himself, but I think he's moving on himself. I want to thank, all the committee people, all the unions, and all the voters who put me here for so long. But I also want to thank everyone who helps us here on council, the Sergeant at Arms, the clerk's office, our amazing clerk's office, the Sergeant at Arms, our archivists who are always looking things up for us and helping us, various community organizations, the Cable Bureau, and the mayor's office. I've worked with 3 mayors, and every one of them had something different, but every one of them had a brilliant chief of staff or somebody in that office who was really amazing. And this past year, I really had the opportunity to work a lot with Jake Pollock, and I think that somewhere down the line, he's going to have a really bright future too. And I wish him well, and I wish everyone well going forward. And I'm looking forward to working or seeing the new administration, and hopefully that the success, because I just saw that he announced, Corey O'Connor announced some of his new hires, and I think we knew some of them were coming. So I will say he's also hired some of the brightest minds with Reverend Burgess, Yaron Zober, and Dan Gilman. So hopefully they'll all work together for the betterment of Pittsburgh, and I look forward to Pittsburgh's future and seeing the great things that are going to happen between this council and the new administration. I think that the future could be very bright for Pittsburgh. I just hope that we always remember, and that you always remember, to serve the people before politics. And I think if you do that, we should all be in a better place in Pittsburgh. So thank you all for everything.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Councilman Coghill?
Thank you, Mr.
You
President.
don't have to talk. I'll cry. I don't-
Teresa, my friend, I just want to thank you so much. It's been such an honor to serve for you when you were president and with you as when I came in. I didn't know anything about city council or how to run, the city of Pittsburgh, but you always had my back. You were always so genuine and nice to me, and I just can't thank you enough for what you've done for me and making me feel comfortable in this seat. I really didn't have a friend here at that time. You were my friend already, and it was really comforting to me. And as far as getting rid of you, I never want to get rid of you, that's for sure. I can't get rid of her if I wanted to, I will tell you. She's related to half of the people in my district. But it's amazing the overlapping friends that you and I have, as you know, and really, you've inspired me, honestly, through the deeds that you've done, how you care personally about people. I've watched you walk away from very important votes at this table just to care for somebody. And your district knows that about you. And if you so chose, you could be the city councilwoman for the rest of your life, because you're so loved in your district, whether it's fighting for the veterans to get their banners or just taking the personal time to want to help people, and to your passion for people and trying to make them better. But, again, when I came in, I really didn't have any real friends on city council. I was new to city council. I wasn't a staffer. I had no idea exactly what went on here. And I know I was difficult at times, but you've always had my back. And even if you had to tell me in a hard way, I always felt like you were looking out for my interests. So it's been an honor. You're going to be sorely missed, although I love Kim and looking forward to working with her. But there is no replacement for you. So your legacy will live on forever, and I know I'll still be seeing you. And this would be more emotional if I didn't know I was going to be seeing you on a regular basis still. But I look forward to you coming down, whether speaking a public comment or me and you are somewhere in the neighborhood.
Smoking hookah.
Yeah, smoking hookah, right?
I made him smoke a hookah at my Lebanese food festival.
Oh, gosh, you're going to give everybody a story now. But yeah.
I'm okay. Hey, I'm leaving.
No, but from the bottom of my heart, I just wanted to thank you and tell you what an inspiration you've been to me. You're so well respected in, I know, my neighborhoods and your neighborhoods, but I imagine that's the way it is across the city. You're a real legend here, and your reputation will live on forever.
Thank
So
you.
again, appreciate all you've done for me
Thank
personally.
you. Thank you. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Charlene?
Oh, you don't have to say anything.
No, I do. Councilwoman, I knew you before I was involved in city council, and it has been a real honor, to work with you, and while I came in and when I was very much as a staffer, I didn't think that you and I were aligned politically on very much at all. And as I've grown and worked with you, you and I don't differ on much at all. And I think that, being in this office and being able to be part of the South Hills Coalition with you has meant the world to me, and in my growing into this office and being here, it wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for you. And you've talked about how you had great teachers and great leaders around you, but you have been an unbelievable teacher to me, and I just can't thank you enough for walking me through from little things to how the agenda works to bigger things, and how we should handle ourselves and how we should approach ourselves, and really being a teacher for me, and how important you've been in my life and my evolution. But I think of the two things that I would say that you've defined how you handle this, or you care first for your district, and you might have a vote that all of us disagree with, or that it runs contrary to something else, but your first duty was to your district, and that was always the case, and no one could ever say that you didn't, and that you cared so deeply about the people in your district. And the other thing that you always cared about was for the body, and your concern for what happens here and for city council as a whole, and what our role is here, and our our stature in government was always your concern. And those are the two things that I would see as your legacy, of just always caring about the people you serve and then the people you serve with. And it's been an honor to sit next to you, and I'm really thankful, however that seating chart was decided, that I got that opportunity. But I will deeply miss you, and I look forward to you still keeping us around, keeping us in your heart, and giving us phone calls and giving us guidance as we move on here. And your legacy will be well remembered. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Can I also just say real quick, though, I didn't mention Councilman Warwick and Councilman Mosley, because I realized I was trying to get everyone in, but I do want to thank you, because you've been, Councilman Mosley, you remind me a lot of me, how kind you are to everyone, and how you try to find that middle ground. And so I just want to thank you for that, because I think it's nice to know that somebody's going to continue doing those kinds of things here. And so I really appreciate that. And, I've known your family. It was the Wagners that actually helped me first get elected, so I do want to mention them, that they actually came out and helped me a lot. And, there's a lot of stories behind. I have so many stories to tell, but, I was grateful to your family and for everything that they did for me initially. And Rob Kazarowski, who really stepped out a lot for me. And I didn't really know anything about politics or any of them or their stances or anything, but I'm glad to see that they have somebody here. Jack Wagner is always at all our veterans things, so I want to thank you for that. And Councilwoman Warwick, I know you and I sometimes seem like we don't agree on a lot of stuff, and there's sometimes we don't, but I never doubt your heart and your intentions, because I think that you're always trying to do what's best. And one of the things you said to me was how you just want to make Pittsburgh better, and that always resonates with me. I'll always remember that when we disagree or something, I'm going to still pick up the phone and say, hey, but I do want to say that I think that your heart is really in a place where you're trying to do what's best for people. And I think everybody feels that way, and I just want to make sure I mention those things. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson?
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I think what I can say initially is that we had a rough start in the beginning, going back.
I'll never forget.
You'll never forget it. Going back to, was it 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was running against your friend.
Yeah, Darlene.
And I'll never forget what you said to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to repeat it here.
Yeah.
You
can repeat it.
I think it just shows how much you care for your colleagues, and since I was on the other side of that, that wasn't really what you wanted to see. But several years later, 4 years later, 5 years later, I know we quickly started working together, and I thought that was a great opportunity for me to kind of make up for, that interaction. But, during that time, but we quickly started working together, and I was able to see, a lot of things about a lot of members, but for you in particular, it was really just so impactful to see how much you not only care for your district, but like was mentioned here, like all the other members. And I think we had a lot of conversations about everything that I was interested in terms of like being involved in council and in the city. And I really have to thank you for elevating me in many different areas, whether it's, my interest in, things that we accomplished with the zoning code, or if it's the land bank. I mean, I'm literally sitting in your seat on the land bank. And,
Thank you for that.
and, you offer that seat to myself, and I'm, very appreciative of that and proud of the work that, we've been able to do there. And it wouldn't be possible without the work that I've been able to, be a part of there wouldn't be possible without, your generosity and the constant communication we have if, something arises of a concern that you have through the land bank. And, in terms of looking at how you represent your district and everything I've heard, I think it's been mentioned here about a week ago during a proclamation, I think, about how people, they love you so much that they call you when there's a fire in their house. Yeah. And I just can't get over that story. I mean, that's not something that we want to happen to our neighbors, but at the same time, and also they should just call 911 directly. But there's something I took out of that. It's just like, just how much people trust you. And I think that, even though you and I may govern differently in our districts, I think that, there's so much to say about just how much individuals in your district really trust you and, rely on your leadership. So as much of that as I can take from, I will, and use that in my own capacity. But just knowing that you're moving on, you're retiring, I just know that that's probably not going to go away, and you're going to continue to lead in your district and have so much compassion for people. And, it's I don't know, it's just, I think, a very heartfelt moment to think that someone like yourself that cares so much about people will be moving on from, this room, and wish you all the best in the future.
I was never in this room before I was elected. My first time here was when I was elected and was sworn in. So it was odd to me to be here. And I was a lifelong Pittsburgher, which is why so many people call me, because I know people from all over the city. And when I walked in here, I couldn't believe that this was the first time I was ever in this room as active. I was, involved in all the, across the city for a long time. So the fact that I was never here was like, spoke volumes to me. You know what I mean? And how we need to empower people a little bit. So, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Strasburger?
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilwoman Kale Smith, I'm sorry I can't be there in person to honor your last day and your legacy, but I just wanted to say a few things. Here, let me get my camera for this. Yeah, it's been an honor to work with you in my, 8 years on council and 4 additional years as staff. And you have taught me a lot, and you've taught me what it looks like to fight so fiercely for your constituents. I mean, I think that's the one thing that we're hearing from everybody is, because it's true, I don't know anyone else who fights more fiercely for your constituents. You're such a champion I think it comes from this idea that you fight for the people that you represent, and You, I think, want government to work for the people and make life easier for people and otherwise kind of get out of the way. And I really appreciate that about you. And you've stood by that philosophy even in the face of opposition. So your courageousness and your bravery and sort of standing for your values is just really incredible. And one other thing that I know is true about you is how deeply you care about children and youth. You are always questioning whether it's anti-violence programs or after-school programs or programs we're spending money on are truly doing the hard work to empower and to protect our young people. And it extends far beyond your time on council. I know your time at working for the school district and for young people in that capacity means it has truly been a life calling for you. So it's been an honor to serve with you. I'm so glad I got to sit next to you for at least a period of time on council, because you're the best person to sit next to. And
I talk too much.
I hope that you continue to give us all a dose of tough love when we need it, whether at public comment or by calling us on the phone, but I know that you're not going to be a stranger. So I look forward to seeing you very soon in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Warwick.
Yeah, so Councilwoman, when we first, I remember when we first had coffee, right? I was like the council person elect, and I was definitely nervous about meeting you. I think that you'd heard some stories about me, and so maybe we were a little nervous to meet each other. But I immediately, within like 5 seconds, I feel like we immediately hit it off. I felt so comfortable with you, and you're so smart and savvy and kind and persistent, right? And I think that is what makes you, Teresa, you're a force, right? You are a force to be reckoned with here on this council. And I know you don't like politics, but you are hands down the best politician I know. You're really, just watching you, and again, even if we're not on the same, side of an issue or whatever, but just watching how unapologetic you are and how you demand to be taken seriously. And when people don't take you seriously, it ends up not working out well, right? Because you know what you want, and you do work for the people in your district and put them above everything. But at the same time, though, as a member of council, you always pick up the phone, right? And no matter what is going on, no matter whether there's a disagreement or whatever may be happening, right? Your door is always open. You always, immediately you call back, no matter how late, right? And you're always there to talk through issues, and that kind of strength that you have is, and the hard work that you do and the tough choices that you make, people will attack you for that, and they do, right? I've heard you tell stories all the time of and things can be wild, right? Like in the public, like because people they don't. It is confusing and it is emotional and all of these things, right? But at the end of the day, and I think that's sort of what Anthony alluded to, right? Is at the end of the day, they know like they can count on you, and that's why. Again, you could run for office 20 more terms, right? And I just want to say that your name may not be up on this wall, but you are one of the great women of Pittsburgh politics, and you will go down as that. And we'll get your name up on something soon.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Mosley.
Don't make me cry.
First and foremost, I want to, thank you for your 17 years of service and many more years of service, on behalf of the residents before your time, on council. And, I think, everything that needed to be said has been said, but to my colleagues, but I do just want to share, and elaborate on that personal connection that we do have that many folks may not be aware of. The fact that the Wagners, not necessarily recruited you, but I know, really, where the folks in the early days that convinced you, to jump off the deep end and, and get into this life, and I know, I know obviously I know the Wagners well, and Jack has become like a father-in-law to me. And he was the president, of this body some 40 years ago. And I was just with him, on Christmas night, talking about stuff, talking about recent votes and, sharing, his wisdom. So, I always felt, we had a special connection, even though we really only got to know each other over these last 2 years, sitting next to each other, on Tuesdays. And I really, cherished that opportunity. Because like you alluded to, that so often, in this life, we become caricatures. People don't know us. We become, just like almost like a cartoon character. And I think that, it's important that, that we can, remove that layer of caricature and really get to understand each other's humanity, and who we are. And I appreciate the fact that you appreciate, my commitment to collegiality, amongst the body, and whether, we all vote against each other's proposals, that, when, the camera shut off and, we're back, in the back room or in the halls, there's still a collegiality and a civil, and positive relationships that we have regardless of where we're at philosophically, and on position. So I hope that, if there's one thing that I can do, as you pass the torch, is carry that torch of collegiality, amongst the body. But again, these last 2 years have been a lot to me, just knowing that, how deep my family, was in the beginning, of your journey, and being part of, of the Wagner family. Aunt Eileen always jokes, and says the most beloved member of the Wagner family is me. Because she generally says, the Wagners are looked at as a word that I won't use, here, but, it starts with an A. You can use your creativity, but that's a joke that, the Wagner family, always likes to share. And it was also shared, over the holidays. And I know my colleague, Councilman Coghill, also has a deep connection to my wife's family as well. And my family, they've embraced me over the 17 years that me and Chelsea have been married. So I just want to just talk a little bit about our personal connection, our familial, connection, which meant a lot to me because, my wife's family, has really embraced me, and, I love them deeply and they love me deeply. And I wouldn't, be here, in this position. One of the greatest decisions I made was to, marry a girl from Beachview. I was actually, my wife always reminds me, as much as I claim the North Side and represent the East Side, my wife always reminds me that I was born on Eleanor Street in Councilman Charlin's district, went to middle school, in your district.
Don't forget where you went to middle school.
And then when I got married, we bought a house in Brookline in Councilman Charlin's district. So even though I'm on the East Side, you have a comrade across the river who, knows those neighborhoods and cares about those neighborhoods deeply, and, wants to see the best for them, because I've spent large portions of my life, in your area. So again, I just wish you the best. I want to look forward to continuing to grow our friendship, and continue to get to know each other in the years to come. So thank you so much for your service, and Godspeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, I saw you come off camera.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Mr. President. And Councilwoman Kell-Smith, I'm sorry I'm not there as well, but thank you for your many years of collegial hospitality and experience. I I think if I can mention one thing that I think other members have not mentioned, is your amazingly quick wit and sense of humor, right? That's why we joke that we all want to sit next to you at standing committee or regular committee. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of times that your side comments have made me like guffaw out loud practically in my microphone or on camera. And so that's often a very, very welcome relief when we are, debating or having moments of contention. And, we're debating things because we all care so much about the city and our constituents. But sometimes it's a really welcome relief to have a little bit of humor. And I think that's what has helped us get along, all of us as a body, so many times. So, again, just to concur what other members have said, we are in session, in case you don't know, as members of the public, 49 weeks a year, usually at least twice a week, sometimes more than that. And so unlike larger bodies that maybe have a month away from each other or only meet once a month, some other bodies, we see each other all the time. So it's a little bit more like a dysfunctional Thanksgiving dinner 49 weeks a year. So having your grace and your sense of humor and your desire to have us work together, I think, has made us a more productive city council in the 12 years that we've been serving together. Because sometimes we do get really mad at each other, honestly, right? I mean, we all care. And we're really fighting for what we think is best, and sometimes we don't agree. So having you there to kind of bring us back together, like, grumpy siblings or something, and heal those wounds and keep moving forward is something I'm really grateful to you for. I think in the 12 years that I've been here, we are able to come back together and move forward, because there's always a new issue, there's always a different debate, we deal with a wide variety of things. So I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And certainly we also have not agreed on everything, but it's been great having you there to help us come back together and be a productive council. So I'll be talking to you soon. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I also know we'll be talking a lot after this meeting, so I will simply say it's truly been a pleasure to serve alongside you.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we do have meeting announcements. Offices will be closed this Thursday, January 1st, 2026, in observance of the New Year holiday. And then next week, council will hold our swearing-in ceremony on Monday, January 5th at 10 a.m.
I just want to say, when I hear all these comments, they're so kind. I mean, so extremely kind. But I do have to say, sometimes I feel like I'm being eulogized. So I'm getting a little scared because I'm getting a little bit old now. So thank you all so much.
With that, motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
All in favor, say it.
Aye.
Say aye. We didn't have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.